Sniper rifles are by far my favorite category of weapon in the entire game of Fortnite. And I've been waiting to do this video for quite a bit now, and that's going to be ranking every single sniper rifle in Fortnite history from worst to best. I must preface, I will not be including the Zapatron, the lever action rifle, or the explosive repeater rifle in this list. The Zapatron was in the game for half an hour. I don't think anybody watching this video has ever used that gun, at least in Battle Royale. And the lever action rifle and explosive repeater rifle are technically considered snipers because they have heavy bullets, but in my mind, they're more assault rifles or DMRs and not snipers, so they will not be on this list. With that being said, if you're going to enjoy this video, be sure to drop me a like down there. Use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop if you'd like to support the work that I do here on YouTube. And let's just get into it. This is going to be a good one. In my opinion, the worst sniper rifle in Fortnite history at number 14, that is the Boom Sniper. If you watch my video where I ranked every single exotic, spoiler alert, the Boom Heavy Sniper was the worst exotic of all time, and I also believe it is the worst sniper. It's just kind of outdated. When it came out, it was fun, it was unique, but it doesn't really serve a purpose anymore. Extremely low damage, right? It's going to take you to stick 3 clingers, right? You have to hit 3 sniper shots to kill somebody, right? That is not going to cut it. That's not going to work. And I genuinely believe that you are better off using any of the other snipers that are on this list over the Boom Sniper. The fact that this costs a lot of gold and there was really most of the times only 1 on the map, maybe 2, 3 at most, making it so rare and so hard to get for really just an extremely mid weapon. The only advantage you get here is you have some pretty serious spam, right? If someone's in a box and you drop a bunch of clangers on their head, you might be able to sneak one in and get some area of effect damage, but other than that, I don't see it being useful, and I think it's deserving of the worst sniper on this list. At number 13, and let's be honest, really not that far ahead of the Boom Sniper, that's going to be the automatic sniper introduced in, I believe, Season X. This sniper is just a little more versatile, and honestly, it really isn't a sniper. If it didn't have the name sniper in it, it would basically just be a DMR or even an assault rifle. And the one thing you do have going for it is, one, it's automatic, of course, that's always a good thing, and very low recoil for an automatic weapon. As well as this, it also used medium bullets instead of heavy bullets, which is obviously a huge advantage when you consider how hard heavy bullets are to find most of the time and the limit on the amount of heavy bullets that you can hold versus the amount of medium bullets that you can hold. My only concern really is if you're going to use a weapon at range like this, just use a regular bolt action sniper where you can one-shot headshot instead of doing 40 damage to the body. 40 is pretty low, and if I remember correctly, the bullet velocity also just felt super slow. So yeah, not a great weapon overall, and I would rather have a bolt action sniper over this 10 out of 10 times. And at the number 12 spot, you may be surprised to see this, but just hear me out here, that's the heavy sniper rifle. This weapon has seen an immense fall from grace. This used to be the best sniper ever, no debate, no question. And for the longest time, this was my favorite weapon in all of Fortnite. I have a couple problems with this weapon. Remember when it did 150 and 157 damage from purple to legendary rarity? Then you could justify the extremely slow reload time because you were basically just destroying everybody. Yes, the damage is lower, but it's still a pretty good amount for a sniper, right? So you're saying, what is the big problem? Well, what made the heavy sniper special back in the day? The fact that you could one-shot any wall, right? The advantage that you didn't have to worry about pickaxing or taking someone's wall, just shoot the sniper and get into their box, right? Well, the fateful update that killed the heavy sniper rifle in Chapter 4 Season 2 that lowered the damage to structures from, listen to this, 600, 630, 660, 690 to 150, 158, 165, 173. Of course, those numbers are for each increasing rarity. That is unreal and destroyed, killed the heavy sniper. And so now you have an extremely slow and clunky sniper, albeit the projectile, the actual bullet, was very fast traveling, which helped. You had a severely nerfed damage by 30, 40 hit points, and you absolutely obliterated the structure damage. This thing got nerfed into the ground and is now one of the worst snipers ever. The shining star for this weapon now is actually just the vehicle damage. I think now it does like 600-700 damage to vehicles, but I don't think that that justifies putting it any higher on this list, especially when we basically just got a better version of the heavy sniper in the game now, which we'll see higher on this list. And at number 11, we have the Amban sniper rifle from Chapter 2 Season 5. That is the Mandalorian sniper. And honestly, I don't think this is a bad sniper at all. I really just had nowhere else to put it on this list, and I brought it down a bunch because it's a mythic. There's only 1 on the map at a time. They're hard to get. And I don't have any complaints on this list. Even though it's low on this list, list, it's still one-shot headshots. It's got a nice thermal scope. It sounds sick. Like, it's a cool weapon. And even though nobody used it, the ability to melee is still a pretty nice addition. My big complaint, though, is just the damage is not there. 110 damage for a mythic sniper when we have bolt action snipers in purple legendary rarity that are doing 116, 120 plus damage that are a lot more common and easier to find than this mythic item has to be noted. Again, I don't think this is a bad weapon. I think they did a good job integrating it with the Mandalorian and on the map. I just think it just kind of falls to the bottom of the list. No complaints, just not great. And at our number 10 spot, we have the Dragon's Breath sniper rifle, the exotic. And honestly, the Dragon's Breath would have been higher if it wasn't for the fact that the whole point of the weapon is completely obsolete now. Fire doesn't really spread to structures anymore like it used to back in the day. But the damage is absolutely massive here. 121 damage will absolutely get the job done, and at this point, you would take this every day over the heavy sniper. Another main problem, though, is how hard it is to get. With these exotic and mythic rarities, you really only see a couple of them on the map at a time if you're lucky. If you're not going to go out and specifically look for the NPC to buy it, there's a good chance that you may not see this weapon for 10, 15, 20 games in a row. So although it may do more damage than something like, let's say, a suppressed sniper rifle, the fact that it is rare and harder to find has to knock it down a little bit on this list. Another example of a very solid sniper rifle, one-shot headshot of course, but they are just better. And at our number 9 spot, I had actually just previously mentioned it, that's the suppressed bolt action. Some of you may have expected this to be higher on the list, and this is honestly a completely personal choice. I just didn't like the suppressed sniper a lot. I honestly have no reason for that either. I just didn't like the feel of it. I always took a regular bolt over the suppressed. And again, yeah, this is a totally personal pick because the damage on the regular bolt action sniper is higher, but you don't get the suppressed like you do here with this weapon. So honestly, it's kind of personal opinion between both and which one you choose to put higher. I just put the suppressed lower because I value the higher damage over the suppressed factor. And at number 8, we have just the classic bolt action sniper rifle, the first sniper ever introduced into the game and probably the most popular sniper. It is your classic sniper rifle. Everybody knows it. It doesn't do anything crazy good, anything crazy bad. It doesn't have any specific traits or anything. It's just your great sniper rifle. And also for this sake, let's just forget that the common bolt ever existed. The fact that it had a green uncommon rarity, which is pretty unironically common to find and pretty easy to find, that did over 100 damage for a body shot, I think pushes it higher than a lot of the weapons on this list. And if you are lucky enough to get the purple or legendary version, you're going to be doing 116 and 121 damage, which is really, really good. Again, it doesn't do anything outstanding and it doesn't do anything terrible, but the fact that it has a green rarity that's a lot easier to find than any of the other snipers on this list pushes it a little bit higher. Also, personal take here, but how satisfying was it to hit a shot back in chapter 1 with the legendary bolt action? I mean, that feeling was great. But anyways, at our number 7 spot, that's going to be the hunting rifle. And I was even thinking about whether I should put the hunting rifle on the list or not. I mean, is it a sniper rifle? It doesn't have a scope, but it's still one-shot headshots to the head. I was a little bit torn. But since it is on this list, it's going to go at the number 7 spot, which is right in the middle of all the snipers. And that's pretty intentional because with the hunting rifle, you do kind of sacrifice long range. Of course, you can still hit those 200, 250, 300 meter snipes with the hunting rifle, but it's pretty rare, especially with no scope. But while you sacrifice the long range, you also get the best close quarters sniper rifle in the entire game. The hip fire for a sniper rifle was actually really, really tight. I'm sure you've seen plenty of hunting rifle trick shots, hip fires, and even myself, I've taken this out in a box, just pop somebody right in front of you for 100 damage and then use the shotgun. You can do that sometimes. And if I remember correctly in the loophole for Fortnite Reload, the hunting rifle has come back and I forgot how good this weapon can be in a good player's hands. I think that there's a really high skill gap with this weapon, but if you're really good with it, you are going to destroy everybody and probably outshoot multiple people with a regular sniper rifle. And at the number 6 spot is the exotic Storm Scout sniper rifle. And the only reason why the exotic Storm Scout is behind the regular Storm Scout, if you don't know, they actually have the exact same statistics, is strictly because the exotic is a lot more rare and harder to find than the regular Storm Scout was. But look, I think the Storm Scout is actually kind of an underrated sniper rifle, and it's our first semi-auto sniper on this list that can actually one-shot headshot. And for that, I think it has to go above all the bolt actions because your DPS is much, much higher with a weapon like this, pending you're hitting a headshot. The ability to fire off 5, 10 shots in a row, potentially headshotting multiple people without reloading, is extremely underrated. And as well as this, you got to see where the next zone was, so you can't forget about that. That is the whole gimmick with the sniper, and it is pretty good. I won't say it's great or anything crazy, but it is a helpful advantage to have. And at number 5 is just the regular Storm Scout sniper rifle. I was thinking about putting them in the same list since they have the exact same damage, but because of how rare the exotic is, it falls one behind the regular Storm Scout. So yeah, just take everything I said about the exotic and just apply it to the Storm Scout at number 5 here. And now we are in the top 4. This is the top 1/3 of this list, and I believe they are some of the best sniper rifles. They are extremely powerful, and if you see them on the ground, I would highly recommend that you would take them. And honestly, kind of surprisingly, at our number 4 spot is the brand new Chapter 5 Season 3 Heavy Impact Sniper. I mean, let me just say something. 313 headshot damage is unreal. It's actually laughably funny. And this is exactly what the heavy sniper should be right now. Big time damage, slow reload. You're basically taking that one shot, and if you hit it, you're going to be doing big damage. If you don't hit it, you're going to be in trouble. 125 damage in the rare rarity, 131 damage in the epic rarity, and 138 damage in the legendary rarity. Yeah, that's a big shot. And not to mention, I think it does like 400 something damage to vehicles. I wish it did just a little bit more to counter the cars even more this season, but 400 damage is pretty serviceable, and it basically just like stops the cars in its tracks. It's that strong. And it's extremely satisfying to use. It feels good when you hit a shot. It sounds good. It's just that big heavy sniper rifle, and just everything the heavy sniper is now, but just buffed to the moon. At the number 3 spot, and I never thought that I would ever be saying this is a top 3 sniper rifle ever, that's the semi-auto sniper. I think before Season OG happened, I think this was unanimously known as the worst sniper rifle, and it got a massive damage buff. That's what changed everything. The damage went from 75 and 78 to 97 and 101, and that is big for one key reason, and that is because now you had the ability to one-shot headshot with the semi-auto sniper. Anytime you can one-shot headshot, instantly puts it ahead of any weapons where you cannot. I also really like what they did with the scope, making the scope smaller and more zoomed out. It just feels better to use, and that buff honestly absolutely saved the semi-auto. It was honestly kind of laughable how bad it was before Season OG. But if you have the blue rarity, especially of this weapon, 101 damage, 10 magazine size with only a 2-second reload time, I mean, you could basically just spray everybody with this thing. And surprisingly, it deserves a top 3 spot on the list for the best snipers ever. And number 1 and number 2, this was a tough one, and I kept going between the two, but I think I have a good argument here. At number 2 is the Hunter Bolt Action Sniper. Pre-nerf, this thing was absolutely dog water, but in Chapter 3 Season 4, it got a huge update where the damage went from 81, 86, 90, 95, 99 to 90, 95, 100, 105, 110. That is a big damage buff, about 10 damage for each rarity. And the even bigger buff is that the headshot damage increased from just 2.0 times to 2.5 times multiplier. And this was huge because even if you had a version of the Hunter Bolt that wasn't doing 100 damage to the body, you could still one-shot headshot because now it was 2.5 times instead of 2 times. I honestly don't know what it is about this sniper. It just feels so good to use. I don't know if it's the sound, the rechambering, the scope, everything just feels so great to use. And while the damage across the board isn't as good as something like the heavy sniper rifle or even just the regular bolt action sniper rifle, the advantage here is that you had 3 shots before you had to reload. So instead of scoping in, shooting, you had to reload, rechamber, do everything. Now you had 3 shots before you had to pull out of your scope and reload, and that is really, really good, especially in duos, squads. And I know I haven't been talking about zero build a lot, and that's just because I play build specifically, but in zero build playlists, rare and above, the Hunter Bolt Action can eliminate any enemy with 1 shot, 100 health, 100 shield, 50 overclock shield. It does not matter. Any rarity above rare can one-shot them. So yeah, this thing is an absolute zero build demon to say the least. But in my opinion, it just falls behind the number 1 best sniper in Fortnite history. That is the Reaper sniper rifle from Chapter 5. And pre-nerf, I would go as far as to say the pre-nerfed Reaper sniper is the best gun we've ever seen. Of course, the Reaper got substantially nerfed, and I'm just reading the patch notes right now. Bullet speed reduced by 8%, bullet drop increased by 40%. Then they nerfed it again, the bullet speed, the bullet drop by 116%. They reduced the spawn chance. This thing got absolutely nerfed into the ground. But I actually do believe, even with all those nerfs, I still think it's the best sniper ever. A headshot from any rarity of this weapon, doesn't matter, will deal 250 plus damage, instantly killing any enemy in zero build. And while yes, it does have a ton of bullet drop and is kind of harder to use now, I'm telling you one thing, there is no better sniper rifle in the game than a Reaper sniper rifle with a P2X optic and maybe chuck an extended mag or something like like that. Any other attachment on it, honestly. You just got to have that P2X optic. Please bring back P2X. Again, after its nerf, I still believe the Reaper sniper rifle is the best sniper in Fortnite history. And yeah, that's it, guys. That is my list for ranking every single sniper rifle in Fortnite. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you enjoy this style of video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, because there's more where that came from. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.